What's going on, homies? Welcome to the Cracked Soccer Podcast. This is episode two, boys. My name is Angel El Capitan Reyes, joined by two homies once again. Chino, what's good, homie? How you doing?
Oh, we're out here feeling good.
Love it, bro. And we got Fern on the other side. Fern, how you doing? Say what's up to the people.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Love it,
Ready for
fellas.
episode 2?
Absolutely. Love it, dude. Episode 2, fellas. Obviously, week 1 of the MLS season is done. It's wrapped up. Awesome games, right? Awesome results for many of the teams. But we also had a leaderboard going on. I don't know, for those of you watching, we had a leaderboard going on from our picks from the last week that we're going to showcase. Fern, if you can please pull up the leaderboard, my friend, so we can see how many points we all have. Now,
Ya tú sabes.
pay attention to this leaderboard right here, everybody. Lopez, El Chino, on the top of the leaderboard. Mr. Novice himself with 7 correct picks this week. How you feeling, PZ?
I mean, not surprised. Here we are, man. Beginner's luck, but want to keep this streak rolling, right? Mark my words.
There you go. There you go. No beginner's luck, my friend. It's all skill. It's all heart. You had all the good picks last week. Obviously, I'm trailing you right behind you with 6. And then we have Fern sitting at the bottom with 5, my guy. I don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, what's the plan to come back from a bad week 1 for?
I don't know, bro. I tried to be smart about it, and I should have just done what Lopez was and just not thought about it.
It's because you're a Miami fan. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Avila's let me down. Miami let me down. That first game of the week ruined the entire week for me, so.
Well, that's fine, brother. I mean, obviously, plenty more soccer to be played week 1, so 30-plus games still left to go. No worries there. I was going to say, for both of you guys, fellas, do we want to put a little wager on this leaderboard here and maybe possibly have something for the winner at the very end of the season? I'm thinking possibly a jersey of the winner's picking, or I don't know, cold plunge. What are you guys thinking?
If I win, I get to personally go handpick the jersey I want from Fern's closet. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, let's brainstorm some ideas. I'm down. Obviously feeling good being in first place, so you already know I'm down to win a little something.
I'm always ready, bro. I usually start off pretty slow, but I always come back in the end. It kind of reminds me of my fantasy football leagues.
Nice. Well, there you go. There you have it, everybody. Week 1 picks. Peasy out in front. I'm right behind him with 6 and Fern with 5. We'll kind of keep this updated. We'll post it on the Instagram as well. Make sure all of you guys are kind of keeping up with us and seeing this leaderboard live. All right, enough about the leaderboard, everybody. We're going to go into the previous week. We're going to see what we thought on some of these games. We're going to showcase our correct games, correct teams of the week, as well as our correct player of the week. So really quickly here, we will share the results from week 1, everybody. I believe there was around 45 goals scored on the first week. I believe that's a record.
Yeah, it's the most goals scored in the first week. I'll try and get the number real quick of what exactly it was, and I'll let you know.
Beautiful. Yep. Yes, so obviously record setting. I thought the first week was pretty cool. I feel like the buzz around it was really cool. Everybody on social media was buzzing about it. Some great results, obviously, for some teams maybe not. But I'm going to showcase really quickly my correct team, correct performance of the week. The game that I'm going to be looking at is a team I picked. I don't know if you guys remember. I picked them to have a very strong season this year. That maybe a lot of people are not going to expect them to have a good season, but I do. The San Jose Earthquakes just absolutely killing Real Salt Lake 4-0. To me, they get the correct team of the week. Obviously, they had 4 goals, crazy amount of goals in a soccer game. The forwards looked very, very good, very, very strong. They created lots of opportunities, obviously with the two up top with Martinez and Chicho. The midfield looked very strong as well. And then obviously the defense just, I believe Real Salt Lake had maybe 6 or so chances, possibly a little bit more. When you look back at the game tape, it really wasn't any chances just because most of those shots came from outside the box. So really, Real Salt Lake was just kind of throwing stuff at the wall, hoping that it sticks. So San Jose really just kind of kept them out. Awesome game, awesome performance for them. I feel bad, obviously, because I'm a Real Salt Lake fan. But at the end of the day, San Jose showed up. They showed out. What do you guys think?
Yeah, because Real Salt Lake had 63% of the possession, 22 total shots versus the San Jose Earthquakes 14 total shots, and they just were more efficient with the shots they were taking, obviously, with the 4-0. And I just feel like San Jose it started off pretty even, and then San Jose just took off, and they just never looked back.
Yep.
Typical Utah teams. The typical Utah team, man. We're going to have a slow start to the season with Real Salt Lake, and it's going to pick up as the season progresses. I have no worries, but still an unfortunate outcome for this first game for
sure. Absolutely. Diego Luna did play well. I will say that. I will give him that. Diego Luna played well. He had some pretty good shots, made some pretty good chances. But at the end of the day, they did get their butt smacked. So it is what it is. Up next, who wants to share their correct game of the week?
I can.
All right, Fern, correct game of the week, my friend.
Okay, so my correct game of the week is actually the LA Galaxy versus San Diego. And the reason I picked it is not necessarily because it was the best game of the week. I just feel like it's a very good example of the MLS structure and the way these teams work, because what other league can you have somebody that just joined come in and take on the reigning champions and beat them 2-0? And I just feel like it's a good showcase of the effectiveness of the caps and stuff that kind of keeps the teams very evenly matched. So that's my main reason for picking that game.
Love it. Chino, your thoughts, my friend?
On this specific game, I also chose this as the game of the week, the cracked game of the week, but we'll highlight someone else just for some diversity of thought here. If we're not moving away from LA Galaxy and San Diego FC, very good game, right? Obviously a shocker, brand new team coming in, and it's going exactly as we expected it would. But the team I want to highlight is Atlanta United versus Montreal. Emmanuel Lott made a significant impact, scored those 2 goals for Atlanta United. And even though Montreal was able to keep pace, Atlanta's looking pretty good and secured that dub. So that is the game I will highlight.
Love it, dude. Yeah. 2 great games, honestly. Just kind of going back to the San Diego game. Yes, that was pretty crazy to see the reigning and defending go down like that, especially at home. Obviously, they're not too far away. I mean, they're a little ways away given traffic, right? But the teams aren't too far away. They're in the same state. Crazy game, to be honest with you. But really, San Diego they did everything that they could to stop this team. And honestly, it could have been a lot more than just 2-0 at the end of the day. So definitely a good game there. Atlanta United, I'm so glad that you brought that one up too. Atlanta looked very good. Montreal did not let them go away, though. That's for sure. But Atlanta United does look good. It might just be the stadium or something, or maybe the people from Atlanta. But that place always looks like a party every single time I watch the game. It looks so fun to be there.
I feel like more teams need to see what Atlanta's doing and incorporate it into their fan experience, because I saw a stat somewhere. I'll probably have to look into it. Maybe we can post it on the Instagram about how Atlanta was the 3rd most attended game in the world, and their stadium's very big. It's nice and modern, and they just have really loyal fans that show up. And it also helps that it's inside a dome where you don't have to worry about the climate.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, no, I like it, man. I mean, I think Atlanta's got a good team for sure. So definitely got to take note of that. Everybody's got to look into this one. Atlanta's got some good things going for them, so it should be fun to keep watching them. Sweet, fellas. Let's also go into our correct players of the week. Obviously, a lot of good this here. A lot of good performances from a lot of different players this week. Obviously, you can name a lot of different ones that are going to kind of go into that golden boot race. But Fern, what are you thinking in terms of your correct player of the week from week 1?
This is like so difficult for me to freaking pick. Like, there's so many good players, but I'm gonna have to go with Messi for this one.
Mute his mic.
This guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like he just has such like an impact on the game itself. Like, the first 5 minutes he gets the corner, gets the assist with Avilas. And without that red card in the 23rd-ish minute, I think they honestly go on to win the game. And they do get very lucky to come out with the draw, especially with the way they were playing. But Messi just, you just have to watch him play. Like, anytime he touches the ball, like, there's 4 players on him. He just makes an impact. Like, he just touches the ball, gets up going, and if you just give him that little space, that little chance just to make, like, a play, whether it's an assist or a goal, which he didn't have any this week, but he had 2 assists, I just feel like he has to be the player of the year.
Got it. I mean, the Warriors jersey last week, there's no bias, right?
Player of
But
the
I like
year
it.
claims on freaking episode 2.
You gotta love it, dude. Well, good. I mean, he's the GOAT. I mean, at the end of the day, he's one of the best players to ever play the game. So if that's who your pick is, perfect. Chino, what are your thoughts, my friend? Who did you pick for your correct player of the week?
I told you guys to keep an eye out on this player last week. Kevin Denke made a significant impact for FC Cincinnati, scored their only goal in the full 90 minutes of regulation that he played over the New York Red Bulls. It wasn't like a mind-blowing performance, right? But I think you and I talked about it, Reyes, where he looked good. He looked good whenever he touched the ball. I think that you highlighted a stat where he was at like 96% passer rating, and I was looking a little bit more into his numbers. He had 7 shot-creating actions in that game, looking really solid. The team's going to come together. I'm still feeling really good about FC Cincinnati in general, but definitely keep an eye out for Kevin Denke this season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we discussed him previously. The guy looks solid. The guy looks like he's worth every penny what they paid him, right? I watched a bit of the game. I watched him play specifically. The guy did everything right for his debut. So he looked good. He looked strong. Honestly, I'm kind of curious too. Do you have any of you have the stats of how big this guy is? Because he reminds me of Lukaku, which is, you can say what you want about Lukaku, but Lukaku dominated when he was playing very well. The guy was big. He was physical. He was pushing people off. He was creating chances. Denke has that same mindset and that same play. The guy is crazy. The guy is a big target, and people almost seem scared of this guy. I don't know. I don't know if he's a big guy, though.
Yeah, I just looked it up. He's 181 centimeters or 5 feet 11 inches, 0.26, which is pretty much almost 6 feet. So it's pretty big for soccer.
But what's his weight?
179. Yeah, 24 years old, 179, 5'11". So he's pretty big guy for soccer. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty big dude. I didn't know he was 24. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. He's gonna have a big long career if he keeps this shit up, dude. That's crazy. Well, good for him, brother. I mean, great pick. I like it. For any thoughts on this guy?
Honestly, I didn't watch the game, so I'll definitely this coming week I'll watch their game and see how he plays. But I mean, it's a good start to his career, so we'll see how it goes. And then I'll keep an eye out on him for the rest of the year, just because Lopez told me to.
There you go. Love it, dude. Perfect. Well, my correct player of the week is going to go off to Jaden Nilsson, the right mid over there for Vancouver Whitecaps. Not sure if anybody watched this game either, but an absolute whomping on Portland Timbers. At the end of the day, they won 4-1. Jaden had 3 assists and 1 goal. This guy, you could not take your eyes off watching this game, dude. He was up and down the field, creating chances, and the guy's got some flow, dude. Chino, I think he's competing with your flow, my guy. He's just coming up and down the field, and he's just got the flow coming out, dude. He's looking solid, man. So the guy was obviously, very effective in the game. I think he's going to be somebody to definitely watch this year, just from the first performance. And he did also give a little press conference afterwards and just say, "Hey, I'm hungry. I'm not done. I'm nowhere near done. I want to keep going." And that's just a crazy mentality to have, man. So super high for this guy. Awesome week 1. He gets my correct player of the week. What do you guys think?
I mean, it makes sense, man. Solid pick for this week. That 1 goal, but then those 3 assists, that man carried in that team. So not much more to add outside of like solid pick. Great call up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's definitely one of the better players this week. So we'll see if it was just a lucky week or if he's going to keep going, and it'll be nice to see. I like when players are playing as well as they are. Give us a lot of entertainment with these 4-1 games and stuff like that. So nobody wants to see ties.
For sure.
Unless it's like a 5-5 game.
Right, for sure. Even then, you want a winner there at the end of the day. Anyways, perfect. I don't know if you guys got your cans, but to all of those games, to all those players, we're going to crack one open for you guys. Well done. We will get those for week 1. Cherish those moments. We're going to quickly go over some of the results from week 1, and then we'll go off to week 2 and get our picks in. Let's go ahead and just quickly bring this up again here, boys. Alrighty. And we'll go rapid fire here, everybody. LAFC Minnesota 1-0. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a little bit more high scoring of a game, but LAFC looked okay. They looked pretty good, created chances, had 1 goal. A little disappointing, I think, for them. But at the end of the day, they got 3 points. So good on them.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they should have done a bit better, but, a win's a win, so you can't be mad with 3 points.
Exactly. Atlanta United, Montreal 3-2. You pointed out, PZ. Great game. Awesome game, honestly, at the end of the day. We already discussed this one, so we'll kind of push off on this one. Columbus Crew, Chicago Fire 4-2. Chino, I believe you picked Chicago Fire to have a pretty strong season, correct? Or am I wrong?
Looking at my notes, I don't think it was Chicago.
Oh, then I'm tripping.
It may not have been, but you did pick them to win this week, so.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Maybe that's what it was. And to be honest, I think I remembered that because I saw this parts of this game. Chicago should have won this game, to be completely honest with you guys. Columbus won 4-2. Hats off to you. Great game, great performance. But Chicago shot themselves in the foot, I believe, 4 times, and Columbus Crew capitalized on it 4 times. And then Chicago had 2 great goals. So I think, don't write Chicago out just yet. Yes, they lost. Yes, they lost by 4, or at least, I guess, by 2. But I believe they should have won this game. They just shot themselves in the foot at the end of the day. So on to the next one, DC United Toronto 2-2. Honestly, pretty decent performances by both teams, neck and neck at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, it also was a tie. So what can you do? I don't know if you guys watched this one, but honestly, just a great game. But at the end of the day, nobody won.
I mean, Benteca's keeping his momentum going from last year with another goal in this game. So we'll see how he does this year too. So,
yep, he's a DC United, right? DC United forward.
Yep, DC United.
Yeah. Did he have? Was it the most goals last year? Did he win the?
Yeah, he won the Golden Boot last year. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep. Obviously, you'll kind of keep that up, right? So you got to keep that momentum rolling. So we'll kind of keep an eye on DC. Cincinnati, New York Red Bulls, another pretty good, pretty decent game. Not super high scoring, but you did point it out there, Chino. Denke, solid performance, right? Obviously, I think they won the game because of him. But at the end of the day, it's just 1-0. Nothing too crazy, but Cincinnati gets that win, rightfully deserved.
Absolutely.
Now, this one right here, guys, I do want to take a little bit of a time and discuss this game here. Crazy game, Miami versus New York City. Quick breakdown, right? So, Inter Miami, what was it, 4 or so minutes into the game, they get a goal. Messi obviously helped kind of bring that goal to life. The guy's a baller. The guy moves very, very well when he's not on the ball. The give and goes that he was able to produce is insane. Gets a goal 4 or 5 minutes into the game, And then 20 or so minutes into the game, Aviles, the person that scored the goal, Aviles, gets a red card, which arguably is or isn't. I mean, we can go back and watch the tape.
I mean, it's very dumb defensive play. You know, there's two defenders on the forward, and they let him get through, and it forces Aviles to make a dumb mistake. You know, like I probably could have given it a yellow or something. You know, I don't think it was exactly like a red card offense just because he was the last defender. It makes sense. But I just feel like in this game, they just made so many dumb defensive mistakes because, like you said, like going on. So they make that foul right on the edge of the box, and they're so focused on the free kick that they let, what's his name? Ilin completely open on the right side of the field. They literally just pass him the ball, and he scores it in. And then they're just playing so bad, and then Alba makes a horrible mistake and literally just passes it to the defender. They're already down a man, and you're making mistakes like that. Obviously, they're going to capitalize on it. And I honestly think Miami should have lost by like at least, like they should have gotten scored on like 4 more times. If New York City FC was more efficient with their shots, they could have won this game. But unfortunately, they had to go against Messi. So,
yep, exactly. And so just so you know, Chino, like obviously they scored off of that free kick, off of that red card, that foul, got the goal in there. And then honestly, at the end of that, I feel like Miami was just kind of trying to hold on. And then they just, you know, at the very, very end of the game, a little bit more Messi magic, and they get that tie. Crazy game, though. I mean, like you said, New York City should have won this game. Inter Miami was pissed at the end of the game. I don't know if you guys saw, but Messi was like very upset at the end of this game. They probably felt that they should have won this game, but New York City dropped some points, in my opinion. Inter Miami was just hanging on with that 10 players. So at the end of the day, it's a draw. Yeah, at least you got a point.
I was yelling at Messi at the end of the game. I'm like, stop talking to the ref, please. Don't get a red. Yeah, got a yellow, but I was so scared he's going to get that red.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. At the very end of the game. I mean, the game was over, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe the game was over. Yeah, it was over, and then he just kept talking to the ref, and the ref just gave him a yellow after. And then after the yellow, he kept talking. I was like, please, no.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and then last point I'll make for this one game too, the guy, and this is kind of funny, honestly, just for you to also know Chino here, the guy that scored the first goal from that free kick celebrated in the craziest way possible. He pulled off, so he scored, pulled off to the right side, and he pulls the Cristiano Ronaldo celebration right in front of Messi, bro. Like, I think this was a big thing on social media, but I was like, dude, that is some balls that you got doing that in front of Messi after you just scored.
Cristiano's got his lackeys over here freaking trying to defend him in front of Messi because he can't do anything about it.
Dude, don't be salty, bro. Obviously, he made a little comment at the end of the game. He said, hey, look, I've been a big Cristiano Ronaldo fan, so I had to, pull that out in front of Messi, which I think at the end of the day, man, I mean, these guys are competing, right? And if they can get in front of in Messi's head, which I don't believe you're able to do that with the experience that he has, but if you can poke the bear, dude, poke the bear, bro. Do it.
You know what? And they get that exposure, it brings more eyes to the league, so I don't mind it at all. I feel like it's good competition, so
yeah. Exactly. Sweet. Okay, so there's Inter Miami, Orlando City, Philadelphia. I watched a bit of this game as well. Philadelphia, obviously with their AI-generated jerseys, got it done. But Orlando didn't look terrible either. But at the end of the day, Philadelphia got it done. They scored way more goals than Orlando did. So, hats off to Philadelphia. Austin FC, Sporting Kansas City, quick and easy 1-0 win, right? Austin FC just had that one goal. I think they put it away quick. And then I did end up noticed, you mentioned Austin FC has a pretty good, spectator, or they kind of like bring their fans in a little bit. After that goal, they did bring those lights down and made everything green. That was sick. I don't think I've ever seen that. Super cool. And like you said, the green just kind of The green with the black, dude, it just kind of flows. It looks very, very good.
Yeah.
So watching that was super cool.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Atlanta having like some pretty cool vibes. Like Austin FC definitely has some cool vibes going for them as well. So we can definitely get that into that in a different episode of like which teams have like the best fans. But cool to see.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe one day we can get out there and check out a game. I think that'll be cool to do. But they definitely have some pretty cool stuff that happens over at the games. Next one, Houston Dynamo FC Dallas. Obviously a 1-2 win for FC Dallas. The only thing I'll point out here is the guy that Real Salt Lake let go, Julio Anderson, ended up getting this win for FC Dallas in like the very final minutes. And I just remember seeing this. Obviously, hats off to Julio getting that game-winning goal, but also a little bit of a dagger to the heart saying, dang, they never should have let this guy go.
Honestly, when I saw the score to this game, I was super surprised just because I didn't think FC Dallas would be doing too much with their top scorer leaving or one of their best players. But you know what? They got it done with one of their in-state rivals, so probably that added motivation helped them with that.
Yeah, exactly. Nashville versus New England, 0-0, boys. Fat goose eggs on each side. We're going to snooze this one. Snooze. Because you're supposed to do it with me. Ready? We're going to snooze this one. Snooze. Snooze. St. Louis City, Colorado Rapids, 0-0. Again, we will snooze this one. Snooze.
Snooze.
And then again, San Jose Earthquakes, Real Salt Lake, 4-0. We already went into this one. San Jose is looking pretty good. Hopefully they can keep the momentum, right? Western Conference is pretty tough. We'll kind of see how they end up doing. Last one from Saturday, Seattle Sounders versus Charlotte, 2-2. Did you guys get a chance to watch this one?
I did not.
I didn't.
Okay, so I remember we were talking about how Charlotte has Zaha now. I believe, and I didn't know this, but a couple days before this game, he had to have an excused absence, so he wasn't even there this game. Zaha did not play. They were in Seattle. They didn't say why Zaha wasn't there. I believe it was probably some family thing that probably had going on. Obviously more important than this. But at the end of the day, Seattle, the forward for Seattle, Morris, the guy looked phenomenal, dude. This guy scored both goals. Super good performance from him. But at the end of the day, I mean, they shot themselves in the foot as well because they had an own goal, I believe, in like the 90
minute. Yeah, it was like 90 plus 3.
Yeah, crazy to watch. I mean, they had it in the bag. And then all of a sudden, they get that equalizer, and it's like, well, they dropped points. They were at home, solid performance. Charlotte didn't even have Zaha. And it was like, dude, that's insane for them to not get that win, obviously.
Yeah, looks good.
Here.
Charlotte's looking good, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes once they have Zaha. So,
well, I'm just like looking into it too. It was just interesting to see that they highlight. Sorry about my dog. That's the Sounders dominated possession in that game. So it just looks like those couple of defensive lapses really ended up like coming up big for Charlotte. But it was just interesting to see. I don't know what the full possession was for that, but just some of the highlights I'm looking at right now.
The scary thing is Seattle looked really good, and now RSL has to face them this week. So hopefully we don't have a repeat of last week. So
yeah, exactly. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully I mean, 2 tough games back to back, right? Pretty crazy for Real Salt Lake to go there, but solid game there. Last 2 from week 1. We already kind of pointed this one out as well. Vancouver, Portland, 4-1, 4 for Vancouver, 1 for Portland. I believe Portland was the only other team, right, that got the red card this weekend.
Yeah. So it was Avilas and Mal Miller was the other one for Portland Timbers. So 2 Miami alumni, or 1 alumni and 1 player.
Yeah. Crazy, man. That's crazy. I mean, obviously the guys in Miami are kind of, they kind of do a lot. They probably have, a lot of emotions. So if they get that red card, it's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, Vancouver did a good job. Like I said, their top player there had a hell of a game, 3 assists, 1 goal. So hats off to him. And then lastly, we got San Diego, LA Galaxy taking down the reigning champs, right? San Diego taking them down. Crazy game, man. I believe this was the only game this week that had 100% attendance from everybody in that stadium. Did you guys see that stat?
I didn't see that stat, but I did see the away fans for San Diego showed up. They were going crazy there. Yeah, they had I think it's one of the biggest away sections I've seen in a while. So,
wow, crazy, dude. I mean, this game was popping, dude. This game had a little bit of everything. I was disappointed with the way that Galaxy performed personally. I thought the only good player that kind of played on for Galaxy was their number 10? What's his name?
are you talking about Peck or Royce?
Yeah, Peck.
Okay.
I thought Peck did pretty good. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they lost. They lost their ring ceremony thing, their trophy. It sucked for them, but San Diego looked good, guys. Dreyer with 2 goals. Chucky Lozano looked very good as well. He obviously kind of helped push the ball forward a lot. And I believe, and I don't want to, I mean, I'm sorry for bringing this up for this guy, number 25, Garces. I believe he gave up both goals. Just an FYI.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like the LA Galaxy weren't playing horrible, but it's just kind of like a theme this week. It's just teams shooting themselves in the foot, and
yeah.
So we'll see. San Diego did look good, though. It wasn't a fluke or anything. It definitely deserved the win.
For sure. Well, crazy week 1, fellas. Obviously, lots of goals, record setting for a lot of teams. Very good matches and some very not so good matches. Week 2 starts obviously this weekend. We're gonna go rapid fire here again with our picks. Don't need to go to crazy detail with some of these, but let's just go ahead and get our picks in to kind of update this leaderboard and make sure that we're, taking down Chino here at the top of the leaderboard. And maybe Fern can kind of start catching up here. First game of the weekend will be Charlotte versus Atlanta. I haven't heard anything about anybody being out, so maybe Zaha will be in here this one. But I think at the end of the day, I think Atlanta's too good, so I'm going to go with Atlanta.
I'll also go Atlanta.
I'm just kidding. Let's go Atlanta. I'm not going to do that whole thing again.
Yeah, I love it. So, okay, we got 3 Atlantas here. Next game is going to be Real Salt Lake versus Seattle Sounders. I mean, Real Salt Lake has a mountain to climb, but it's not going to happen with Seattle. So I'm going to go with Seattle. Too good of an offense.
With how good the Seattle looked last week and how bad Real Salt Lake looked, I'm going to have to go with the Sounders again, or this week.
Same logic here, fellas. Got to go with the Sounders. I hate rooting against my team, but got to do it.
Yeah. After that, we got New England Revolution versus the Columbus Crew. Man, I mean, I think Columbus is, they won. I'm not going to give them a fluke. They're not a fluke, but they did get a lot of things handed to them in that game. But I do think they're a good team. So I'm going to go with Columbus against over New England.
I feel like we're just agreeing at this point because I was also going to go with Columbus Crew. I just think they're one of the better teams in the league, so I'm going to go with them. I don't really like New England's.
I'll go with a tie here. I'm just kidding. If I had to pick a winner, I'm going to go with Columbus as well. Just from looking at the stats, can't go against the grain here.
Yep, gotcha. New York Red Bulls, Nashville. I know we didn't really pick any ties last time, but I might have to make this my first tie prediction ever. So I'm going to go with a tie. New York Red Bulls, Nashville. They're probably going to score a goal apiece or maybe a couple goals apiece, but I think it ends up being a tie.
I feel like the New York Red Bulls will come back and win by 1 goal.
And I think the Red Bulls are going to come and win 2 goals. Give me the Red Bulls.
There you go. Red Bulls tie. Like it. A game after that, Orlando City versus Toronto FC. Orlando obviously lost. Toronto, I believe, did they tie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they tied 2.
going to be a little bit interesting here. Obviously, they're going to want some points. Both these teams are going to want some points. Toronto did look pretty good, but I'm going to go with the upset. I'm assuming people are expecting Toronto to win. I'm going to go with Orlando to win this one.
I am going to go with Toronto.
I'm going to have to go with Fern as well and go with Toronto just because, man, like, someone's telling me these Canadian teams, like, we're sleeping on them. We're sleeping on them. So clip this and we'll revisit it later.
Yeah. Hey, they played well, so it could definitely happen. Next game, Philadelphia Union against FC Cincinnati. I saw everything I needed to see about Cincinnati, and I believe they have a solid squad. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati on this one.
I'm going to go with Philly. I just feel like they had a pretty good game last week, and they should be able to come into this week and kind of give the same type of performance. Although I feel like it will be a close game, I am going to go with Philly.
I know I have my boy here, highlighted him this week. I have since he may be winning it all here at the end of the year, but like I have to go with Philly this week. It's my gut telling me I can't go against it. Calling Philadelphia.
All right, that's a good picks there. We'll see who guesses correctly. Next one, Chicago Fire versus DC United. Like I said, I think Chicago Fire shot themselves in the foot week 1. I think they'll hopefully take this week and really kind of button up those loose ends. I know DC United is a great team. They have a great forward, but I'm going to take Chicago Fire for this one. I think they wrap everything up and they get it going this week against DC United. So give me Chicago.
I will have to go with DC United. I feel like they just have a bit more firepower for me, so I think they'll be able to get it done.
And I hate to make it seem like I'm copying all of Fern's picks here, but I'm really not. Just looking at some of the stats, DC United attacks looking solid. They have some solid midfield play going on. Just a slight edge. I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends in a tie, but give me DC United.
Yeah, I mean, it should make me feel good that you're following what I'm doing with how the results finished last week.
Hey, unless you curse me here, man. Just kidding. But I'm feeling good about your picks, Fern. You're looking good.
I changed my name to Dennis Houston.
Beautiful. Okay, Minnesota United versus Montreal. I think Montreal. I mean, Minnesota didn't show me too much last time, so I'm going to go with Montreal.
I will also go with Montreal. I feel like they definitely played better last week than Minnesota United did. So, yeah, I'll go Montreal.
Give me Minnesota. This is one I will go against the green.
All right. There we go. Minnesota, Montreal. Next game after that one, we're going to go Sporting Kansas City in San Jose. I'm going to stay true to what I'm predicting here. San Jose continues to roll. Give me San Jose Earthquakes.
I got to go San Jose after what they did last week. You just have to. They just played so well. So,
no explanation needed from me. Give me San Jose.
Love it. Colorado Rapids versus FC Dallas. This one will be interesting here. Will they play? They are playing in Colorado. This one, that's interesting. Oh, that's going to make it a little bit tough. 7:30 in Colorado. Probably going to be cold. Dallas probably is not going to like it. Oh, I think I'm gonna take Colorado. I'm going to take them just because of the climate. Give me Colorado.
I'm going to go with FC Dallas this week. I voted again, or I guess I decided to go against them last week. I'm not going to make the same mistake this week. I feel like they played a pretty good game.
We'll make you the contrarian, Reyes. Give me Dallas this week.
Love it. Hopefully they don't freeze their butts off. This is a good game. I think this will be probably the game to watch this day on Saturday. LAFC versus New York City. Two good teams. New York City is probably kicking themselves in the foot for not beating Miami. LAFC probably wants to keep rolling. Tough matchup. If I'm not going with a tie, I'm probably going to go with Los Angeles. Give me LAFC.
Yeah. I'm going to go with LAFC. Even though New York City did look pretty good last week, I feel like it kind of had more to do with playing one player down and very bad football from Miami. So I just feel like LAFC is the better team. So I'm going to go LAFC.
Give me LAFC as well.
There we go, all AFC. Next one, Portland Timbers versus Austin FC. Portland, not the best showing, but also, I believe, they did get the other red card, right? So they were a man down most of that game. But I think Austin looks pretty decent. They got a pretty good crowd. So I'm going to go with Austin FC.
I'm also going Austin. Portland does not look very good.
Being the novice I am, strictly based off of the jerseys, give me Austin.
Love it. Go with the jerseys.
Did you see that the Portland Timbers have an Easter egg on their jersey where it's like when you chop down a tree and each layer is how many years it's been alive? Portland's been around for like 50-something years, and their jersey has like the 54 like things on there. Whatever number it is, it's 50-something though.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is cool. Way to pay attention to detail on that one. That's pretty sweet. And then last one for Saturday, probably would compete with the other game of the week that I would pick with LAFC in New York City. San Diego, St. Louis, right? Two pretty new teams brand new teams to the MLS. I'm going to go with San Diego. They're going to keep rolling. I think they're a great team. Give me San Diego.
I also went for San Diego, so...
Yeah, and I'm with Reyes on this one. This is my game of the week, the game to watch. Their inaugural home game at Snapdragon Stadium. They're going to face off against St. Louis. Right, as you mentioned, they're both pretty new here. And coming off a sick win on LA Galaxy, man, that's got to go for San Diego.
Yeah. Hopefully that crowd is pumping and just bumping, and this is going to be a cool game to go watch, obviously, if you're able to make it. So it should be a fun one. Last two for Sunday, Vancouver Whitecaps, LA Galaxy. This will be an interesting one. Like I said, I think Vancouver had a good game last week with a limping Timbers team. But I think LA Galaxy, they're going to figure it out. They're going to want to get back on the right track come this week. So give me LA Galaxy.
I don't know. I feel like Whitecaps had such a good game last week. I kind of want to go for them, but I think I'm also going to have to go with the Galaxy just because I feel like they were a bit humiliated last week. So I feel like they're going to want to come back with more aggression.
Give me Galaxy.
Galaxy's all around. And then to cap off the week, we got Houston Dynamo versus Inter Miami. I don't think there's any question here. Give me Messi and the boys.
Same. I feel like first game of the season, even though they had the preseason and everything, I just feel like it doesn't have the same intensity as it does. Suarez did not look good at all last week, I'm not going to lie. So it's having me a bit skeptical with Miami, but I'm still going to have to go with Miami.
If Messi doesn't play this week, give me Houston. If he does,
I'm pretty sure he's going to be there.
give me Miami. Well, bro. Sorry, go ahead, Fern.
No, I think you never know. He might not start because he does play tomorrow, I believe. So it'd be tomorrow and then Sunday. So I wouldn't be surprised.
So I'm saying, man, I could see him not playing this week, and I could see it going to Houston, and then people are going to be like, oh, it's because Messi didn't play, but I'm calling it. If he doesn't play, give me Houston. He plays, give me Miami.
All right. Well, that's pretty good predictions there. We'll be sure to kind of keep track of all these, make sure we're, trying to take down Mr. Novice and Chino at the very top. But we will make sure we keep track of all these picks and keep the leaderboard updated. Solid picks there, homies.
Yeah, definitely. I'll see. This it was a good first week. I did find it. It was 46 goals scored this year. Yeah, 46 goals, 15 games played. And the second one behind it was 41 goals in 2019 with 12 games played. So the first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it just shows the growth in the last 6 years too. So
dang. That is pretty insane to see. Very cool to watch though. PZ, you still good? Okay. Sweet. Perfect. Obviously, we didn't get a chance to talk about this next topic in week one. So I did want to touch on it a little bit here going into this week. The CONCACAF Champions Cup, something that we failed to mention at the very during our first episode. Obviously, it has a lot of MLS teams participating. It also has teams from Liga MX and teams from Costa Rica. A very cool tournament, obviously. But for those of you that do not know, well, I guess first I should ask the two of you. Do you guys know what it is? Have you guys seen it? Have you guys watched it? Have you guys heard about it? Anything like that?
Yeah, I've watched that. I feel like every continent has their own Champions Cup type thing. You know, like in Europe, they have the Champions League. And I can't think of what it is in South America. But yeah, I feel like it's usually pretty good tournaments.
And was the inaugural Champions Cup in 2021?
No, so it's actually been going on for, I believe it's been since the 60s or something like that. So the CONCACAF Champions Cup has been around for a very long time. More recently, I believe in 2021 is when they changed it to the CONCACAF Champions Cup. But essentially, you're all right? So the CONCACAF Champions Cup, obviously, it's kind of that Champions League Cup that North America puts on, somewhat trying to rival, the UEFA Champions League, as well as the Copa Libertadores down in South America, the CONMEBOL. So that's kind of what they were trying to do with this league. Since I believe it was 2024, it has they changed kind of the formatting once again. I think it was in February or so of 2024 that they decided to make the 2025 season a little bit different with last year's as well. So for this season, for this cup, they will have 6 Liga MX clubs. They will have 5 MLS clubs, 2 Canadian Premier League clubs. They will have the U.S. Open Cup winner, the Canadian Champions winner, 3 Leagues Cup clubs, 3 Central America clubs, and 3 Caribbean Cup clubs. I believe for a total of like 24 or so teams in this one, if I'm not mistaken. But at the end of the day, what's crazy about this tournament is that really Liga MX, the Mexican Soccer League, they have dominated this tournament since it started. Like, it's been all about them, really. So let me just share this really quickly with you guys too. So what is it? 7, I believe, of the top 10 teams are from Liga MX, which, like I said, for those of you that don't know, it's the Mexican National Soccer League down there. Club America has won the most amount of CONCACAF Champions Cups, and the closest MLS team is Galaxy, all the way down here. They've only won once. They've only been runners-up once. They won it back in the year 2000, and they got runner-up in 1997. So a tournament that really MLS has not done well in, dominated, or anything like that. I do believe they made it to a couple. Recently, they've been making it to a couple finals here. But at the end of the day, Liga MX just absolutely owns this tournament. You guys, I believe, have watched many of these teams. You guys probably grew up watching Liga MX just like I did. What are your thoughts here? I mean, this is just a crazy stat table to look at.
I feel like it's sort of like just shows like how do I say this? Like how much of a bigger sport football was in Mexico.
And I agree with Fern, right? It's like the quality of the league play. Liga MX has been one of the strongest leagues in the Americas without a doubt, right? Like the MLS is certainly trying to become a contender, but growing up watching them, I feel like also understanding that because Liga MX has been around longer, they're some of the wealthiest clubs in the region. They're going to have the money to be able to afford those good players. And then the last point I'll make is Liga MX, like they have experience in other international tournaments. And like I said, I'm just rehashing the same thing over and over and over that comes up to top of mind where the MLS is so young, right? Like I didn't even know that we had professional soccer here in the United States all growing up because I was so entrenched in Liga MX. So really cool to see, and I'm glad to see that the MLS is taking soccer a lot more serious. So excited to see what's going to come of this tournament. And don't sleep on the MLS. Don't sleep on the MLS.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like you said, super young league still, so definitely lots to kind of learn and grow. And hopefully they can kind of, some more MLS teams can kind of come up here. I do know the last thing that Liga MX teams are going to want to do is lose to an MLS team. So it's not going to be easy, and MLS really just has to bring their A game anytime they're going to play any of these top teams for any of those for this title. So pretty crazy to see. I did want to also get a very quick look at the games this week for the CONCACAF Champions. Like we mentioned, they started playing this. Gosh, I think they started matches from this game a while back, but really the last of the round of 16 will be played this week. And so let me show y'all what we're looking at here. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, where'd it go? Hold on. Like losing it. Here we go. Share. Okay, so we got just a couple games obviously lined up, but these will be played Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Miami's obviously in with Sporting Kansas City. And I'm going to look at it this way to make it a little bit easier. Maybe that wasn't easier. Maybe it looks a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit more complicated to like understand who's playing, but this is definitely better to see how to get to the final.
So obviously we need to get LAFC Colorado. They play on the 25th, so tomorrow LAFC Colorado will play. Winner goes on to play Columbus. Columbus obviously got that bye week. This will be interesting because like you guys mentioned, right? So they'll play Tuesday, some of these guys Wednesday, some of these guys Thursday, and then they'll have to come back and play Saturday or Sunday for the MLS after this tournament. But right here, LAFC Colorado, I'm going to go with LAFC taking this one and going on and playing Columbus.
I am actually going to go with Colorado on this one. I think just because they won 2-1, they have the 1-goal lead in the series. I just feel like they'll be able to keep that 1-goal win or 1-goal advantage and go on and play Columbus.
Colorado, Columbus sounds too nice. Give me that.
Love it. Nice. Then we got Miami Sporting Kansas City. I believe, Miami's up 1-0 from the first game. Give me Miami going in to play this team.
It's Cavaliers C or something like that.
Oh, nice.
I am going to have to go with Miami because I feel like people are making a big deal about Messi playing in the snow. And if Messi can beat you in the snow, he can beat you when it's warm.
For sure.
Messi, 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 Messi.
Love it, dude. Miami. Vancouver versus, I believe this one's pronounced Saprissa. Saprissa, I believe. They are up by 1. Saprissa is against Vancouver. I honestly, man, it's kind of tough to call this one, but I do think Vancouver takes this one and they go on to play Monterrey.
This one's going to be hard for me because Vancouver did play so well this past week.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know when the last time Saprissa played. Let's see. I'll look at it real quick. So they also played this past. Oh no. Yeah, they played yesterday. I'm looking at the stats completely wrong. So they both played a couple games in the last couple of days. So I think Vancouver's going to take it, though. I don't see them doing worse than they did this past week.
Saprissa about to surprise you, Fern. Give me Saprissa.
Nice. They are, if you look at those winners, Saprissa has won 3 titles. So keep that in mind.
And they did win their last game 2-0, so we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll see. It might surprise you, like you said. Cool. Then we'll go really quick to RSL versus, I believe it's called Herediano or something like that. They're playing in Utah. It's going to be cold. I'm going to go with RSL.
I hate putting my faith into RSL, but I'm going to do it just because you said it's cold and these people are coming from Costa Rica. I've never been, but I can't imagine it's as cold as it is here.
Yeah, no shot. Like I'm with Fern. I don't want to put my faith into RSL. Like had way more faith in RSL last episode. Right now I'm being faced with the realities of supporting Utah teams, but that cold weather is going to be a factor. Give me RSL.
Got it. Okay, then we got Cincinnati, and I believe, I forget what this one was called.
It's Montagua, FC Montagua. Montagua,
that's right.
from Honduras.
Yeah, I mean, look,
My English.
4-1, Cincinnati already up by 4, I guess by 3. There's no way Cincinnati loses this game. Give me Cincinnati.
I feel like Montagua is going to come out like prime Barcelona against PSG and get the dub. No, I'm just kidding. Give me Cincinnati.
Easy choice. I'm like, as a novice, you guys, if you're watching this live on YouTube, you'll see me kind of looking at some stats on the side here. And no, give me Cincinnati. There's no shot.
Nice. Then we got Seattle versus, is this Antigua? Is this one Antigua? Something like that? I'm not sure what it was called. The team was called.
It's Antigua, Guatemala.
Antigua. Yeah, Seattle up 3-1. No way they lose this one. Give me Seattle.
I'll also go with Seattle, and that next game also looks super exciting. Seattle versus Cruz Azul. Looks fun.
Yeah, sure. Easy.
Right now,
Chino.
I'm looking at one of Seattle Sounders players busting out the Gear 2 Luffy pose. Give me Seattle.
Who was it?
It was one. I think it was Nico D. Benezet last year. 2 years ago, 2021. I'm several years behind, but I'm just looking at this and I thought it was sick. So,
hey, gotcha. That's cool. That's pretty sweet. So yeah, I mean, like we mentioned, we didn't get a chance to share this on episode 1. CONCACAF Champions Cup, very, very cool tournament. It's kind of like an in-season tournament for those of you that don't know, obviously know. But obviously, MLS has a lot of work to do to kind of get up on some of these Liga MX teams in terms of championships. But these next games, the rounds of 16, these will be nuts because, you know, all these Liga MX teams that are kind of like, you know, already in there, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys end up doing. So
I put it in the chat, but is that Chivas versus America on March 5th?
Yes, it is.
Yes, give me some nostalgia in my life right now.
I know. It's going to be crazy, bro, because it is 2 games. It is best of two games. So they'll play them in both homes, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. They play March 5th, and then they play again in the Ida March 12th.
Yeah, and then I believe Messi's first game for Inter Miami was in the Champions Cup too last year when they were down to Cruz Azul, and he just got that free kick on the edge of the box, and everybody was just waiting for him to do something, and he delivered on his first game. So it's a very good, very fun league, or I guess, yeah, cup. I just say league because I'm so used to the Champions League in a similar format. So I really like stuff like this because it kind of exposes you to teams that you never hear of. Like, I honestly have never heard of most of these Costa Rican teams and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's really good exposure for them as well. And it helps build the soccer here in the Americas, the North Americas.
For sure. Sick. Well, pretty solid. That'll be a cool tournament for us all to watch alongside with the regular season in the MLS. We'll also be talking a little bit more about some other tournaments going on. That the Leagues Cup will be coming in the summer. We'll kind of keep our eyes on that one. We'll discuss that more when it comes up. And we'll also start discussing a little bit more on other leagues in the U.S., like the USL, like NISA, and really just some crazy information kind of coming from some of those leagues. and USL trying to compete with the whole Division 1 with MLS. Technically, they were saying that they wanted to compete in a way and they wanted to do their own thing. But, we'll kind of see how that goes. We'll discuss that on the next episode, though. For right now, that's kind of what we have for today. We'll kind of give our closing thoughts here. Chino, Fern, what are you guys most excited about for week 2?
I'm just excited for some more goals, some more exciting games. I love watching soccer, whether it's the MLS or anything. So it gives me something to do on my Saturdays and my Sundays. So I'm excited to see some more messy gameplay. And yeah.
Nice.
Amazing. And over here, always just learning, always just staying abreast of what's going on here in these different games. And I appreciate you boys keeping me up to date as well. And so really excited to keep watching, to keep growing and developing my football knowledge. But eyes on San Diego FC. I'll remind everyone that's when I'm definitely going to watch and make the time to watch this week. So San Diego's inaugural home game, and we'll see how that goes.
Nice. Well, thank you guys for watching. Obviously, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will be posting these as well on Spotify and other streaming services. But for now, episode 2 done and over with. Week 2 coming up this week. Excited for it. Love y'all. Peace.
See you guys.